Oh! I beat Dark Souls 1 and 2 Soul Level 1. One after another. For Dark Souls 2, it was just well, after I beat the twin pets on stream, it was just Dark Lurker to beat, and that was pretty easy. And then for Dark Souls 1, I did Gwyn, and I actually think Gwyn might be one of the worst fights in the entire Soulsborne series. Like, really, but like Bed of Chaos bad. One of the reasons that I've always prided myself on not using parries in the Souls games is because for some of the fights, you can trivialize them really, really easily. Which always felt kind of dumb and like a violation of the fun, like, back and forth in those games, you know? And I didn't want to parry Gwyn, because I've beaten Gwyn without parrying before, in normal runs, where you have lots of health and armor. But with Gwyn, that fight is actually completely fucking broken, unless you parry. If you parry, it's ridiculously easy, and if you don't parry, then it's just a hit trade fight, and it's super, super dumb. It's really, it's an incredibly bad fight, and it's all because of one attack that he has. Really, really dumb. Sounds like knowing what tactics to use to beat a boss. It's not very fun. Have a boss that's super cool and engaging to fight in Melee, but then it's like, oh, but if you use this tactic, then it's actually really, like, quick and boring and dumb. So did you parry? Yeah, I parried, absolutely. Have you tried BL4 Bloodborne? No. When they release it on PC, I will, though. So now I'm doing Dark Souls 3. And god, Dark Souls 3 plays so much better than 1 and 2. Holy shit. Now I can really appreciate, like, how much better it feels to play. Nice try, Mortaray. PTS is off, you fool. Feels so much better to play. Yeah. Fuck. No, I don't have a PS5. Oh, I will say, by the way, that I'm no longer going to be snobby about people who parry or block in Elden Ring, because I tried out some of that as well, just like offhandedly, and I actually think they did a really good job balancing the stamina management and the parry system. The main issue for me was always bosses that are like trivialized by that, because the first time I played Dark Souls 1, I had a great shield that let me beat Manus like effortlessly. Like, there was no difficulty at all, because you can just block everything for free and then hit him once, then block everything for free, then hit him once, and blah, 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 you know? But in Elden Ring, I think they did a much better job with shield balancing and with parry balancing. Because you can't, you have to parry multiple times to even get the hit, and even then it's not a guarantee, you know? So yeah, I still think the magic, oh yeah, magic is still cheating in Elden Ring, as it is in all those games. It's actually cheating the least in Dark Souls 2, because Dark Souls 2 sucks. No, because Dark Souls 2 magic is not as good as Dark Souls 1, 3 magic or Elden Ring. Yeah. You're kidding, right, Vaush? No, it's not literally cheating, but it's definitely, like, easier and ignores some of the game mechanics. What about the magic items in Bloodborne? I never use them. I haven't played Bloodborne anymore. I need it to be on the PC for me to play it. Now, Dark is OP in DS2. I only took a look at sorceries and pyromancies. I didn't do much dark magic, so could be right, yeah. When are you going to go to your first Comic-Con? I've been to Comic-Con before. Do you mean as, like, a figure? Melee exclusive ignores the magic mechanics, though? Well, that's always been the issue that I have. I don't mind the idea of doing big damage with magic, or magic as a concept. What I mind is that there were bosses in all the From Software games that, like, they're melee-only bosses, which means that they'll, like, chill from the other side of the arena while you pelt them with magic and just sort of walk towards you. There are even in Elden Ring, there are bosses like that. Like, they'll be a mile away from you in the arena, and they'll just sort of be doing, like, the JoJo, like, menacing kanji walk towards you while you're blasting them with, like, fucking fireballs and shit, and they have no idea how to respond because their AI is only, like, built to manage melee combat. This is more of an issue in Dark Souls games than in Elden Ring, but it's still an issue in some Elden Ring boss fights. So Vaush, why'd you ignore all the extra abilities in Sekiro when they only complement the main combat rather than being a completely separate thing? Well, Shuriken do trivialize the Lady Butterfly, don't they? It's because I'm retarded. I just enjoyed the base combat in Sekiro. I like very simple combat systems that, like, test you to the maximum with those combat systems. It's one of the reasons why I really, really like Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight has magic, but you have to use the same resources that you use to heal, so it's still tied to melee combat because you regenerate that resource by hitting people in melee anyway. And also, like, melee abilities functionally in Hollow Knight are just like big, sorry, magic abilities are just big melee abilities, right? Like no boss's AI is fucked by you using magic, because in a 2D space, most of these bosses have like room sweeping attacks. So it's not, you know, you're just trying to survive either way. Whereas in Elden Ring, like you can be a big arena and they can literally be like really far away from you and not be able to do anything. Yeah, Silk Song one of these days. Mountain Blade combat is great. Mountain Blade combat, at least Warband or whatever the fuck the one everyone played is, the older one, sucks. I have no idea what you're talking about. What that game is super satisfying, but holy shit, does the combat in that game, you do know it's about like being on the ladder and like R2 like duh like being far enough back that your weapon range is greater than the melee weapon range of the guys you're fighting. It's either that or killing a whole army on a horseback archer build, but you know. The new one's much better. When the new one came out and I played it for 10 seconds and it sucked, I'm giving it another year, okay? Maybe one day. Kill me. That's one of the reasons I like Joseph Anderson. I feel like him and I are both cunts about this, which I appreciate. How about this, Vaush? Melee and combat's easier than magic, since magic requires you to be repeatedly vulnerable to do anything. Well, so does melee. You have to make the melee attack. I mean, in both cases, you can do damage. From magic, you can do it from range, though. I see you two under the delusion Silk Song will ever be released. Don't take this from me, okay? Never said the AI was good, but the combat mechanics are good. PvP is really good in that game. In Mountain Blade? Well, sure. Somebody in chat said they liked magic in Skyrim. Anyone who enjoyed any combat in Skyrim has no right to talk about anything in any From Software game, okay? This is like you're like a toddler who's grown up on dinosaur-shaped chicken nuggets being brought to a 4-star Michelin restaurant to like give your opinion on the ratatouille, okay? You've no, like you're clearly satisfied with anything. They could have given you a dog treat. You would have given it a 10 out of 10, okay? Don't, yeah. Opinion on sign build on Witcher 3. Witcher 3 combat is incredibly mid. At its best, Witcher 3 combat is like mildly entertaining to get you to the next story set piece, which is where the really awesome shit is. But it's just not that engaging. The funny thing is, like, if Witcher 3, if any of the Witcher games had basically had like From Software tier combat, I actually think those games would be even better than they already are, and they're already really, really good. None of the Witcher games have very engaging combat systems, IMO. Bro, I just engage with it. I love talking to my chat about video games. Dude, just like, dude. That's like 90% of RPGs, they almost always have bad combat mechanics. Yeah, but they don't have to. Okay, guys, you know how for like decades it's been standard for party-based RPG games to just have turn-based combat that's no different at all from how like Final Fantasy II did it? Like very basic, like select menu, attack, select magic, potion, attack this character, execute, and then everything plays out. You know how that system's boring as shit? They never had to do that. They just didn't have any imagination. There was always something they could have done. You have your Paper Mario like time the button hit to do like an extra attack thing. You've got Undertale's little like shooter you know, mini set pieces to represent like making and dodging attacks and stuff like that. They never had to do that, you know. They did it because they hate you. They did it because they're ontologically evil. They despise you. The people who made those games hate you, and they wanted you to suffer. That's the only reason why. Yeah, bullet hell, thank you. I've been playing the South Park games. They both have very different, very good turn-based combat. Yeah, I heard the combat in the South Park games isn't that bad. I've never played them, and I never will, but I've heard that it's good. Which, okay, you know, that's good. How many Final Fantasies have you played? Exactly 0, except for 14. But I've seen other people play them in so many like SGDQ runs that I basically know enough. Like, yeah, I know like a decent amount. No, I have not seen the new Fury DLC. I swear we'll do politics soon. You're all very patient. Thank you. Do you play many turn-based RPGs? Nah, turn-based combat systems are boring as fuck. Yeah, sorry, they just kind of suck, you know? There are so many people, the problem is, like, it's like the easiest, like, cut-and-paste system for combat, you know? I don't know how it's acceptable, like, in the modern world, for stories to have something like that. It's very boring, you know? Do you guys ever get the feeling that, like, a lot of people who make games, especially in Japan, are basically just, like, whimsical story writers who just really like the idea of committing their story to the medium, and then because they don't have much of an interest in the actual medium of gaming, only in their story in particular, you just get like these really like bad copy and paste like combat systems, and the only thing that's interesting about it is like the counter argument Earthbound and Mother 3. I'm not shitting on Earthbound. What the fuck? Wait. Why would you hear me? Why would you hear me say like, "Hey, you ever feel like there are some bad things?" And then you're like, "Well, have you ever considered that there also is a very good thing?" I have actually. You know, I've I've factored that into my analysis. Nah, Earthbound's great. Never played Mother 3. Earthbound's Mother 2, right? That's the second one. Yeah, okay. You play D&D? Yes. I always DM. Yeah, Hideo Kojima actually gives a fuck about gaming as like a specific medium rather than just like a different like art form to push a creative vision through. So, yeah. I remember Jonathan Blow criticized Japanese games for having poor game design. I think that's a really like hasty generalization to make if you're a professional. Obviously, I can say whatever I want because I'm a stupid YouTube streamer, but if you're a professional in the industry, saying something like Japanese games have, you know, that's pretty dumb. I do think there are tendencies in Japanese games that are uniquely bad relative to like the American video game market, though. I do think that's there is like a meaningful difference there. Same with the differences between like anime or like Western animation. How important is the gameplay part of combat versus visuals to me? I am not much of a visuals guy. You know that meme about how like I want games to be made for longer, shorter games, worse graphics for more money, and I'm not kidding, or something like that? The game industry is really, really, really constrained right now because like you guys don't get it. Elden Ring cost the same amount as Kirby 64 did, okay? They're both $60. I know inflation has driven the worth of $60 down, but like, oh my god. Like the amount of time and energy and effort that goes into making a video game is insane, especially at the AAA level. And you know, every once in a while you get breakout hits. You know, if you're like a money-making machine like Infinity Ward or From Software or whatever, like, you know, maybe you'll be fine. People like your product enough. But it really discourages creativity, except for like the rare auteur developers like Hideo Kojima or, you know, Miyazaki for From Software. And that makes like AAA games really fucking boring. I've said this before, but like if you there was recently Aggro Games is making a game about crab. It's like a Souls-like, but it's crabs. We saw this on stream. It's super cute. Look. Here, I'll mute it so that I can talk over it. It's super, super cute. Look, I really like this because like with the advent of modern game dev engines, it's easier than ever to make video games. Like to a point, you know? And I'm not saying this game is easy to make, not even close. I'm only saying that, like, this is a small team, and, like, they can make a game that looks like it has maybe the size and graphical scope of, like, a early PS3 game, you know? Would you guys say this is around that era? Like if you imagine, maybe late PS2? Something like that, right? You know what I mean? Like, around, yeah, vaguely in that area. But to have made a game of like 8 to 10 hours length that looked like this back in that time, that would have been like a full dev team. You know what I mean? But now like a small indie team can do it. That's super cute. I really, really wish like we could have more stuff like this. You know what I mean? Like I really, really, really wish that we could have like, you know, I don't know, man. Do you ever wonder like, what do you think the From Software dev team could do if they were told like, listen, make this game. You can have like Dark Souls 1 tier graphics, okay? The fidelity isn't the issue. Work with existing assets and framework. You have a year. Make some bomb-ass shit. And I feel like for a comparatively small, very small amount of money and man-hours, you could make something really, really amazing. I'm just not that graphics intensive. I like it when assets are reused, you know? All I really care about is like the mechanical engagement, the novelty, you know? Yeah, Majora's Mask is practically an asset flip from Ocarina of Time. Seriously, like Majora and Ocarina of Time are literally like a ton of assets are just, yeah, it's an asset flip, you know. The only reason people don't shit on Majora's Mask is because it's so good. Otherwise, it would just be called an asset flip, like in a negative way, you know. The problem is, man, like maybe this is just like my tiny brain or whatever, but like I can't even tell the difference between like super high quality graphics anymore, you know, like. I don't know. Like when I look at, I'm trying to like show what I mean. Like when I look at Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, and then Elden Ring, I feel like when we got to Dark Souls 3, it was like, damn, we did it. We made the graphics. But then they did Elden Ring, and it was like, no, wait, that's the graphics. And then it's like, were there ever any graphics? Was graphics ever even real? Yeah, diminishing returns. Like, this is Dark Souls 1, and when I look at it, like, obviously it shows its age. You know, you can't look at this and think like, oh yeah, amazing, perfect graphics or whatever. I think it's beautiful, you know, don't get me wrong. I still think it's really pretty. Like, if you, like, Dark Souls 1, Ash Lake. The Ash Lake is really, really pretty, you know? I mean, is it like high graphic fidelity? No, but I don't know. It's really pretty to look at. I don't know. And then you have Dark Souls 2, and it's like, oh, that looks way better. When I played Dark Souls 2, I was like, damn, realistic graphics, you know? And then Dark Souls 3, and it's like, damn, that's realistic graphics. We did it. We beat graphics. We've conquered graphics. And then they do Elden Ring. It's like, damn. No, we didn't. Now we've beaten graphics. But I bet you in 5 years, something new is going to come out. It's going to be like, oh, Elden Ring. You think Elden Ring looks good. You know, and this isn't even the prettiest shot in the game. Your brain does a lot of heavy lifting to making it look better. Listen, this is my theory, okay? My theory is that graphics engine developers are liches, and they're draining from your brain the ability to appreciate earlier games, okay? My theory is that if we never developed anything beyond like PS3 rendering tech, okay, we would be like looking at all those games and going like, wow, that's realistic graphics, you know? And somebody would show you this and you'd go, that's not real, that's fake, don't be stupid. but now because we can do this, the bar has been raised, you know? It's you want a game when there are like 5 objects in a level? Well, I think you could do more than that with PS2 or PS3 graphics. Look at Unreal Engine 5. Yeah, where's the showcase? I haven't even seen it. I just know that it's out. Here, next-gen real-time demo. This shit just makes me, like, suspicious. Listen, I understand the development of these engines make it way easier to make new games, and that's really cool. However, I do feel like evil wizards are behind this. Shut up.
We use the cinematic versions, which would typically only be used in film.
Literally, what is this?
To around 20 million drawn triangles. Allows us to record and play back spatialized audio.
Holy shit.
All of this adds up to a more immersive experience.
I'll need three PCs to run this. Well, one of the selling points of Unreal 5, this is running on the PS5 right now, which is comparable to like I'd say like a high but not super high tier current gaming PC in terms of its graphical capabilities. The point of building these graphical engines isn't just to make things look pretty. It's also to make them more efficient so that they can run easier. The issue is, like, when this is where the standards are being set, like, just because you can run something like this doesn't mean that it doesn't take a ton of dev time to make it, you know? It just makes me worry when like, developers see stuff like this. They're like, well, we were going to come out with our cool game, but now that everyone's going to be, like, blinded by this tech, we need to make it like this. We got to look like this, you know?
This swarm of bats was created with our Niagara effects system.
Dude, stop the time. Humble Altmer, stop getting triggered in chat. Holy shit, that's absolutely how it works. Have you never heard of game devs, like, delaying release of games because, like, new graphical tech made them feel like they had to update it to keep up with it? There are literally, yeah, Duke Nukem Forever is, like, the big, like, notorious example, but it's not even that uncommon. Like, the idea of, like, oh, we need to incorporate or implement, like, this new thing. I know that happens. I know that happens. That's on the devs, then? No, that's on the fucking lead team. That's on the people on top. It's not always the creatives who get to make that decision.
Particles in Niagara can now talk to one another and understand their environment like never before.
This is crazy looking, though.
We've also added a ton of new functionality to run fluid simulations like you see in the water below. Simulations like you see in the water below.
Not quite realistic there, huh? You can see the, I wonder if that's like a standard effect. Yeah, it looks like slime, not water.
To run fluid simulations.
Build Unreal Engine 6.
Like you see in the
See, it looks
water
like
below.
slime. Why is the viscosity so high for that fluid?
Realistically interact with the environment, we've added the ability to trigger seamless contextual animation events, like her hand on the door. Lumen not only reacts to moving light sources, but also changes in geometry.
Vaush, I agree with you on almost everything, but you have to admit that we have these graphics thanks to capitalism, and it's very unlikely we'll get here under a different system. What? Capitalism just determines who gets paid, my friend. You can... Well, clearly chat disagrees as well. I won't belabor the point. No, the dedicated... So, Unreal Engine 5... So, guys, I could be totally wrong on this, but, like, the development of Unreal Engine 5... This takes a lot of people, a lot of time, and a lot of genius. But this is something that could be done potentially without colossal capital investment. Or how do I rephrase? The capital investment is in the people and the time and the genius. It's not like a resource investiture. It's like it's if you put creatives in a room and lock the door for long enough, you know? But you can do that under any system. That's not to downplay what they've done, of course. I'm not enough of an expert on how graphics engines are made, but I'm confident stuff like this can exist under basically any system. What temperature will my stream room be when you play U5 games with your 3 new PCs? Yeah, I'm gonna have to install like a external air vent. Okay, can I be one hundo with you guys? I don't give a fuck about any of these fancy ass graphics. You know what I think we need like better tools for? We need better tools for animation squashing and stretching for 3D models and skeletons, and ways of developing like more efficient cloth physics and like non-occlusion for the rigging for those skeletons. Because that's something that's universally useful. Yeah, animation blending, stuff like that. Yeah. Because being able to do that quickly is useful for games of all levels of graphical fidelity, whereas a lot of this stuff is only relevant if you're going for like super hyper fancy realistic shit, you know? But like, for instance, what I'm thinking right now, like, what would it take to quickly make a Souls-like game or whatever? Like, the ability to quickly, like, develop like attack and response animations and shit like that, and like have them blend really seamlessly and look good. That to me seems like the difficult. Like, that's useful everywhere. That's useful absolutely everywhere, you know? The fuck is going on here? Okay, yeah. The Last of Us 2 is insane animation blending. Yeah, and The Last of Us 2 also took, like, the GDP of Nicaragua to make or something, you know? Is there like, another demo? This is from 2020. Welcome to Unreal Engine 5 Early Access. Captured in PS5. Okay, so we're all running this through PS5. Can I get, like, not a desert environment?
In the new UI,
please?
Natively working in data.
Why is it all
new input act?
Oh, I see. Unreal Engine 5 only works in like beige and brown. Oh, here we go. This is red.
Through an enormous mythical adversary. Now, every single animation for the Ancient was authored wholly in Engine by the Aaron Sims.
Aaron Lev, no, that's what I mean. Like, you texture break when you stretch with 3D models because the textures are stretched over the models and stuff. But I feel like you could develop systems to make that more doable, right? Like, you could have like a texture map on a character, but then have like extension textures that like expand at certain regions in order to like Or you could, like, maybe you could have textures that have a separate map placed on top of the texture map, which determine which elements of the texture are allowed to stretch and which aren't. And then when there are squash and stretch effects in the animations, it will, like, dynamically stretch only the sections. That's what it does, you dumb fuck. Why are you yelling at me? I'm proud that I know any of this. Vaush, you can do that. Okay, I know that there are more difficult... Okay, no, fine. All right, fine. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Creative team using Control Rig and Sequencer, our linear cinematic animation tool. Also, just to push the boundaries a bit, they even built it out of a collection of nanite meshes totaling over 50 million triangles attached directly to the skeleton. Control Rig was designed to keep artists close to their creations without having to bounce back and forth between software packages.
Oh, damn. Wait, hold on.
Meet the Ancient, a film-quality creature, our linear cinematic animation tool. Also, just to push the boundaries a bit, they even built it out of a collection of nanite meshes totaling over 50 million triangles attached directly to the skeleton. Control Rig was designed to keep artists close to their creations without having to bounce back and forth between software packages, allowing them to quickly iterate, all inside Unreal. While imagining the battle between Echo and the Ancient, we wanted to give the creature a heavy laser attack that Echo would have to avoid. We needed it to track Echo's location in the arena and fire a slow...
Holy shit, I feel like if I looked at this, like, placeholder character design they're doing for the Unreal Engine 5 Early Access showcases, I would have guessed Echo. Isn't Echo just such, like, a perfectly stereotypical, like, mysterious post-apocalyptic world being wandered by, like, a strong, independent female character? You know what I mean? Like, it's like that or maybe, like, 3 others, you know?
Slow sweeping blast towards her.
Looks like shit.
Fire a slow, sweeping blast towards her.
Okay, here's something that I don't understand. If you're gonna animate a laser, why the fuck do you not make it come out instantly? I have no idea. I understand that for something like Star Wars, where it's all like space fantasy, like yeehaw type shit or whatever, but like, it looks good though? No, it looks goofy. Look, it's like a fucking silicone sex toy extending. Wait, look at the, like, it starts here. Look, it like starts here, but then it charging? That's not how that works. Why does it start here? Like, clearly it spawns the laser animation particle right here, but the angle should be more deep towards... Okay, whatever.
Taking advantage of the full-body IK solver mentioned earlier, we were able to influence the direction and distance the Ancient reaches out.
Maybe it's not a laser, maybe it's plasma fire shit. I feel like that could be visually communicated better.
During the firing animation, based on where Echo is in the scene. Let's see the results. Here is what the base firing animation looks like.
Okay, the laser shot rotates independently of the angle of the palm, which makes sense from a design perspective, because it's difficult to angle your palm in any direction. But I don't know.
And here it is again, with the full-body IK post-process layers enabled, and our info about Echo passed into Control Rig. With full-body IK and Control Rig, designers and artists can now author fully dynamic...
Can you have a conversation soon? Yeah, maybe.
...animations that react to gameplay without having to build complex animation state machines composed...
You can't see a laser in travel without particles in the way? Well, sure, but that's acceptable artistic license, I think. So, Vaush, would you not think that a game with actual lifelike fidelity where you couldn't tell the difference isn't an end goal that'd be pretty dope? No, I actively oppose that. I actively oppose that end goal. In a sec, Vermin. I oppose that end goal for a number of reasons. The pursuit of realism as an inherent artistic virtue is the death of artistic styling. The worst artistic trends of the past few decades have been people just blindly trying to imitate realism. That train station is an Unreal demo? Oh, holy shit, it is. I didn't even look at the title. God damn. I assume this is with a VR setup or just a very shaky, like, player cam? Very impressive. And people just get more excited for artistry IMO. I don't care about realism. I don't care about it. I do not. we have realism. We live in realism, you know. I care about, like, a... Look, just hold on.
Real world. You take the... I'm supposed to come here. That it was important for... Marketing. I thought we were supposed to have total creative control.
What the fuck is this? Dorky ass. This is dorky ass. Do Zoomers today even know about The Matrix? Like, The Matrix came out in, like, 2001, right? Fuck me if that doesn't look good, though. The new movie was good. I didn't see it. Oh yeah, you're all trans. That's right. It doesn't hold up? Wait, the original Matrix holds up 100%. Yeah, absolutely it does. Matrix 2 and 3, maybe not, but like the original Matrix totally holds up. I watched it pretty recently. The Matrix is still fantasy wish fulfillment for nerds? Nothing about The Matrix is wish fulfillment. The movie's supposed to give you a pretty deep sense of anxiety about your place in the world. Okay, I will say that it always triggers the fuck out of me when I really, really, really hate it, where projectiles don't go where the barrels go. Look, you have the lock-on the helicopter, and the barrel here is just going on a goddamn vacation. But meanwhile, like, you see bullet holes, like, appearing in the... Like, see, that's steady. But, like, before it was just it was doing a little dance, you know? Steady. No, that's fine. It was just shaky earlier. This looks boring to play. Well, I mean, if it's lock-on, then it would be, yeah. Can I be real with you guys? I feel like we need to normalize... Yeah, it's a tech demo. I feel like we need to normalize shooters that don't have reticules and don't have iron sights, okay? Like the old shooters, okay? That's what I'm talking about, all right? You need to just have in your head, like, the center of the screen in mind, okay? And that's what you need to have, all right? Like musket? Like, yeah, like Doom. Yeah. Just fucking, that's annoying as fuck. No, it's based, okay? No, Vaush? Alright, people disagree with me on that one. That's fucking cringe. Ooh, they need their reticules. They need their reticules. Doom had a shit ton of auto-aim to make up for it, though. Yeah, but, like, just play games that don't require that kind of stuff. Like, fucking Doom Eternal. There's no sniping in Doom Eternal. There's only winning. Only ripping and tearing. Wait, I was talking about animations before. Where's the dancer? I spent like 3 hours trying to kill her with my SO1 character, but after her, Osiris and the champion afterwards went down really quickly. What's the champion's name? Fuck. Eudix Gundyr. I couldn't remember the first word. Dancer. Super cool fight. Also, one of the very few fights... Maybe the only instance I can think of a boss in a From Software game being sexualized. I guess maybe the first one I can... No, every game has one. You have Quelaag in the first one, and then you have the Najdra in the Scorpion Queen in the second one. Basically, she's like a super curvy dancer with like a very fat ass. Not a fat ass, just a prominent ass with individually modeled butt cheeks. Very feminine movements, and when you hit any part of her body, it jiggles. One of this guy's messages was rated. Kind of looks like a big bug ass. You can see, it's just the way she walks, and the way she moves, it's all very, you know. But see, her ass is like her weak point. Anyway, she's a super cool fight. I was talking earlier about animation squashing and stretching, and like she has like dozens of attack animations. It is insane how many attack animations she has. But I just wonder, like, how much dev time did it take to get all those... To get all those down, you know? I think she has like 40 individual animations or something. Yeah, she has a ridiculous number of attacks to memorize. Which is why she took so long to beat. Even Udex Gundyr has like maybe a dozen attacks. You want me to actually answer that, or is it rhetorical? Well, if you know, then give it a shot. Animation is an animator and rigger's job, not an engine and visual engineer's job, just saying. Yeah, but the engines for game creation can help make it easier to rig animations, can't it? Like, it's not just the graphics or like the textures or lighting or whatever. Like, it's also the mechanisms by which you get the characters to animate or prioritize some animations over others and stuff like that. Not actually that hard nowadays. Well, I have to assume it was pretty difficult to do this. Not necessarily this attack specifically, but like in general. Look at all this shit she's doing. She's zippy. She's zipping. Did you see how Miyazaki has to dial down the number of characters with bare feet in his games because he doesn't want people to make fun of him? I didn't even know if that was a shitpost at first. That was so fucking funny. They should have put the dancer in bare feet. Just have her entire body fully armored in plate, except for her little feet. That's all we need, okay? That's all we deserve. And apparently they didn't put Millennia in bare feet. Like, originally Millennia, the goddess of rot, was going to have bare feet, but people made fun. Where's the shot of her? Oh yeah, here. Because in her second phase, she's naked, but she keeps armored feet. It's like the only part of her they keep armor, and apparently Miyazaki was going to make her barefoot. But that would have been over the line. It's a prosthetic. No, isn't one of them a prosthetic? Wait, are both? I thought one of them was a prosthetic. They're both prosthetics? Oh, okay. I thought it was one arm and one leg, and that the other one was just armor. Okay, well then, alright, never mind. For lore reasons, you do not get to see the goddess of rot's feet. Sorry, guys. Pack it in. Pack it in. Censorious lore masters denying you the ability to see anything at all of this boss. You know, she might as well be wearing a veil. Unbelievable. Yeah, thanks, lore nerds. Miyazaki. How long would you have to live after you smashed? Well, she's an envoy of the god of rot, so I'd say you wouldn't even get to nut. You wouldn't make it that far. How much time? No. Elden Ring should have had a Scarlet Rot ending. It is kind of interesting that they had a Frenzied Flame ending, even though the Frenzied Flame isn't that represented in the world and in the lore. But even though the Rot literally has like a continent and a sub-area dedicated to it, there's no ending directly associated with it. Two sub-areas. Maybe the Rot's an extension of the Friendship Flame. Nah, they're from two different outer gods. It's almost time for the conversation. Fuck you guys. I like streaming. Walkthrough? Nah, I just want to see. This fight fucking slaps. Oh wait, Udex Gundyr is the first one, so it's Champion Gundyr. That's the nighttime. This is the dark mode version of the fight. God, it's such a good fight. I did parry this guy just because he's so incredibly fucking fun to parry that I can't resist parrying him. He's so fun to parry. In his second phase, he just tries harder. Yeah. If you don't parry him, can you say you've beaten him at all? Well, I've beaten him parry, and I've beaten him parryless, you know. Isn't it really fucking dumb that none of these games let you go back and just fight the bosses? Like a boss rush mode? Isn't that really dumb? Why don't they let you do that? Like, I don't get it. They let you do that in Sekiro, but why not in any of the other ones? Like, no, I know Sekiro does. Why can't you do it for all the other ones? Like, that's dumb. The game is the boss rush? Nah, if you beat a boss. Okay, here's the reason I'm saying this. Because in my Elden Ring playthrough, I got 2 fake wins on SL1. For the Fire Giant, he just died when Phase 2 began because of glitchy-ass patch 1.4. And in the Godskin duo at Farum Azula, when I killed the Acolyte with Bleed, it just destroyed the health bar for both of them, even though I was 1/4 of the way through the fight. I recorded that. I posted on Twitter. It's a known glitch for 1.4. Now I can't fight them. Now I don't get a real win. I could redo all of Soul Level 1, you know, only like 30 more hours just to hope that glitch doesn't happen again. But like, I would really appreciate the opportunity to beat those fights legitimately, but I cannot, you know. No, I know those fights aren't the best for SL1 anyway, but yeah. You can mod your way to the fights. Yeah, I guess. You can join someone else's world. Yeah, but then then it's not like the fight fully. It's a different mechanic, and the boss has more health and blah, blah, blah. And they might die instantly. Nah, whatever. 3 minutes. Do I smoke weed? Just to help me sleep. Bonfire aesthetic. One of the few things, actually, one of the many things Dark Souls 2 kind of fucked at. In a good way. Dark Souls 2 experimented with so much shit, and then for Dark Souls 3, they were like, nah, and just retracted it. Why? Really weird. There was so much good shit in Dark Souls 2. Speaking of drugs, just Tums, some heartburn. Yeah, Dark Souls 2 had a different director, but why not keep the good ideas? Wasn't there a lot of negative feedback at the time of DS2? Okay. There are problems with Dark Souls 2, but I genuinely feel like a lot of people were just huge bitches. And after beating Dark Souls 1, when the sequel came out, they did worse and got upset that they did worse. And they blamed the game on it. Because Dark Souls 2 is way harder than Dark Souls 1, and there were different things that it prioritized in terms of difficulty. Adaptability was kind of a mistake, though. Dark Souls 2 did some stuff really, really good, some stuff really, really bad. The big issue with Dark Souls 2, by far the big issue, overwhelmingly, is that the game is so fucking floaty. Oh my god. The game is so fucking floaty. Everything. Enemies sliding around. You sliding around. Attacks are just... There's no feel of snap or weight. And the issue there... Okay, how many times in Dark Souls 2 has an enemy done an overhead slam attack where your roll's iframes ended after the movement from the enemy had ended? So your iframes finish after the enemy's hands or weapon is fully on the ground motionlessly, and then your iframes end and you take damage. Because that happens all the time. Same with thrusting attacks, where the weapon or whatever is completely still, and you still take damage after your iframes on the roll end. Happens all the time. The hitboxes just stay there forever. It does happen in DS1 sometimes too, but not as much as in DS2. I'm playing DS2, I have no idea where the iframes are. Just get a bunch of adaptability. You want your agility to be at least 102. Yeah, enemy attacks will track you like crazy because they thought everyone would just get backstabbed like they did in Dark Souls 1. Okay, I can't believe you all sat through an hour of that, but at least we grew together as friends. All right.